Okay, man, 10 people. Right on. 10 people. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. All of you. Well, I got a show tonight, and I wanted to cover a few things. Firstly, this has not been a good week for Mr. Cat. It hadn't been. This has been a very poor week, a very sad week. Allow me to go on. We had Labor Day weekend, which was noise. I mean, like all night noise, people coming and going all weekend long, noise in every car with great big giant, woofers playing music that I can hear from 3 miles away. I wish somebody would kill woofers. That would do me a giant favor. But now, as the week ended and Tuesday rolled around, and I'm like, thank God it's Tuesday, I got a letter from the landlord, and they're all like, oh, we're having a survivor competition out here through this week. So if you could kindly stay out of the woods till Sunday. I'm like, a survivor competition? Yeah, a survivor competition, man. They had that out there, man. I think there was like 11, 12 teams, which sounded really cool. It was a youth group thing, which sounded, it was really cool and an awesome thing for them to do. But at the same time, there was like, I don't know, 20 or 30 cars here 24/7, somebody on a gator going back and forth by my bedroom all night. Finally, it was Sunday, though. It was Sunday, So now everything is kind of back to a norm. Well, this morning I go out to check my mail. I'm on my way home, and I think I'm hearing a catbird in the woods, meow, meow, meow. And I'm all like, catbirds don't really do it like that much. I mean, so I walked into the wood line. I'm like, kitty, kitty, kitty. Here comes this little bitty cat, man, running through the woods toward me, all wet and everything. So I picked it up, took it home, deburred it, fed it some food, knew where it came from, though, and returned it to its owners. I was very upset, man. Very upset. Bad week. Also, man, like I go back a few weekends ago, a girl from Australia called me. Well, I looked at my phone and I seen that somebody had called. Well, it said dial, so I dialed, and we sat there and talked for like an hour. That telephone call cost me $400. So it's been a rough week. But to get right to the point of this video, ladies and gentlemen, it's been 4 years and 4 months since the crime was committed. Now, me and a friend of mine, which we all know, we thought immediately that arrest was imminent, that this man would be behind bars, like probably before we woke up the next day. We're waiting for the arrest, and everybody has been for 4 years and 4 months, and everybody's bored. Everybody wants to know, when's it going to end? When will we know? When is there going to be a suspect? When are they going to announce a person of interest? When's it going to end? Well, I propose that it's probably going to be 8 or 9 months. 8 or 9. And I put it basically at 8. I think that February 13, 2022 will probably be that day, but I could stretch it longer if it need be, because there's a lot of states that need to talk to this man. Now, let me go back to my crappy week, because it was a crappy week, man. It was filled with crap, through and through, all the way through, okay? The other day, I'm watching True Crime Garage. I've made notice of them, and I have mentioned them on my channel a few times. I think people's heard me mention them. It's kind of a repeat. I mentioned True Crime Garage. I like listening to them because normally they have pretty good information. Well, I was watching, and I think it was called The DELPHI Murders, Off the Record, Parts 1 and 2. Now, if you go to True Crime Garage TV and you listen to DELPHI Murders, Off the Record, Parts 1 and Parts 2, you will realize that all of their information came from my channel. From me! Now, the one guy on True Crime Garage went this far. He was talking about my interview with Trooper Kim Riley. He goes, I think it was on a news clip where the guy was asking about the investigation, and Trooper Kim Riley says, well, it's like this man has never been caught committing a crime. He goes, but at the end of it, he went on. He said, we can find no traces of it. So this man says That immediately made me think they have fingerprints. And I'm like, yeah, that's really good. Got every bit of that right off my channel, including my theory of fingerprints. Did he mention me? No. No mention where they got my material. Nothing. Nada. Not even my name, not my channel, nothing. So, if you want to thank me for mentioning you on my channel, True Crime Garage TV, remember, I want you to know I'm a size 11. Okay? So, take that with you. Thieves, man. Thieves. Horked everything right off my channel. Aside of their persons of interest, when they started talking about that crap, I had already negated them and said, no, they didn't do it because I already checked them out on mycase.com, and they had a prior criminal record. So aside of that, which they was doing for views, all the rest of the information was straight off my channel. And again, not one mention of my name. Not one. Just completely mimicked my entire channel. That was upsetting. That upset me. It really did. Well, Teresa, and I thank you for the suggestion there, but I did leave the comment that what was it? Mimicry is the best form of flattery or something like that. I just put that down underneath it because it was a ripoff, and I wouldn't have minded. You know what? The clip that I made with the interview with Trooper Kim Riley is copyrighted. Copyrighted. That is mine. I asked that question. I got that reply. It was filmed with my camera. Now, not only is it copyrighted, but so is the videos on my channel because I already recorded them as copyrighted along with my channel. So if somebody's going to make mention of my information, please make reference of my name and channel. Thank you. I should report them for that. But being a cool dude, man, being a good guy like I am, exactly. And they should. They should have. At least on that part. I mean, the rest, okay, right, they got my information. I mean, okay, they was kind of going by the facts. I give them that. But you should always reference where you got your facts. I'd never go to somebody's channel, take what they say, bring it on here, and give it like it's information that I came up with. That would make me a thief. And I would know I was a thief. Just like they should know they're a thief. Thank you. So, there that is. Hey, Sharon. Paranormal Experiences, The Joy Catcher, Teresa, Michael Green, Sir Michael Green, Rich, many other names, and I know Watch here because, I seen the name Davy Crockett, Annette Ward. Thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. Now, I said Sharon Parker. Didn't I say Sharon Parker? Sharon, if I didn't say your name, I apologize. But there it is. Sharon Parker's here. See, she said, hi, Kat. How you doing? So, let me see, man. Where do I go from here? Now what? I mean, well, that's been my show for this evening, everybody. Man. You know what, man? I'm glad that summer is approaching, and I'm going to be selling live bait and snacks down here at the island. Puppy won't be on and on. Hey, man, how you doing? But in being down there, I mean, I really got to watch it with Puppy because, man, mosquitoes are bad. I just don't want him to get anything. He's my little baby, man. And I baby him, man. I mean, I hold him like this and feed him pig, I baby the crap out of that guy, man. I love that little guy. I do. And everybody wants a big dog. And I'm like, why? I said, I don't want a dog to protect me. If somebody comes at my house, my dog needs protected, and I'll shoot and kill their ass. That's how that is. I don't want my dog going after a guy that might have a gun. He might kill him. Like, holy shit, man. Believe me, I think more of security than my dog. Yeah, I don't want my little dog attacking somebody, for the love of God. What if they kicked him? Yeah, I'd be sadistic. I would do horrible things, man. Hey, man, what? Why did you say goodnight? Are you leaving? Don't leave. Hang out, man. Hang out for a while. Well, yeah. From here, man. From here, Joy Catcher. Totally. And I want to. I mean, nah. You know what? I got you covered, man. I got you covered. I got you covered. Yeah. And do I want it to go up? No. No, 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 no. I want it to sink, man. I want that stuff at 20,000 or under. That's where I can get my main buying opportunities right there. But I appreciate you dropping that on me. You know, I'm a Bitcoin fiend, man. A fiend. You know, if I had a way where a person could donate Bitcoin to me, because if there's any Bitcoin people out there, man, I'd appreciate that. It'd be like Bitcoin, you know, here's some Bitcoin, man, invest, you know. I wish I could give everybody a Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, wait. Back to where I was. And where was I? I forget what I was saying, man. I always do this. See, I'm unscripted, man. I'm just on here ad-libbing. I'm just on here saying, oh, hey, Sarah Lopez is here. You know what? I should get that back out because she sent me a really nice hand-drawn picture of Wolf. And what I want to do, because I can't find a frame that fits that, a picture frame. But I've been looking for one, but with those dimensions where I could like put it right into a frame that size and get a picture of that, you know, where Wolf is, if you see where I'm at. Yeah, you know what? If you're here and you're looking for information, do me a favor. It only takes a second on my invisible watch. Hit that little thumbs up down there. You can smash it. You can hit it. You can nail it. You can do whatever you want to it. But hit that. It helps the algorithm, man. It really does. And you know what? More people show up, man. And more people, man, getting enlightened by my factualness and my evidence and things like that. Also, if you're not subscribed, what the hell's wrong with you, man? Oh, look, man, subscribe, man. Hit the subscribe and that little bell. That way you're notified of everything I do. Look, man, if I'm taking my trash out, you'll know. You'll know. You'll be notified of everything. It says all. So anything that I'm doing, you're going to be made duly aware of. Yeah, that's right, man. Leave your DNA on that like button, man. Oh, hey. There you go. You know, I got merchandise. Thanks, Watcher. You rock. You know, I got merchandise. It's right there, but you need to go over to Watcher's comment and copy and paste that. But I do have like Michael J. Cat shirts, you know, where I'm pointing at people. Kind of a cool little thing. But all right. Well, anyway, let me get back to the case here real quick. I'm thinking of other things that he had ripped off of me, man. Now, he did bring up on True Crime Garage TV, you know, of a person of interest. And he was talking about TJB for a minute. But now here's the thing, and this is how I think. Look, I want to level with you all. I'm a little paranoid. I am. I got a very paranoid personality. Very paranoid. You know? I always think bad things, man. All the time. So here's my thoughts. They got all of their information regarding the crime from my channel. Now, they knew my thoughts, having went to my channel and got all that information on TJB. I did it right, man. Right hand, too. You know? So when they brought him up, they kind of covered the basics, but did not go down the line of covering the information that I used on it. They used all the other information, but not the stuff on TJB. Now, here was my thought. I think that if they went down that road with TJB, that absolutely everyone would have said, hey, wait a minute. You're saying the same thing as Michael J. Cat does on his channel, identically. I've noticed that people back away from that. People back entirely away from copying what I say on TJB. Totally. They will not touch it. Now, I stated 2.5 years ago, I said there will be no person of interest that comes forward that will be real. There will be no arrest of a differing person as the suspect until he goes to court and gets convicted. That has remained true. And no one has come forth with fact or evidence that shows that to be wrong, because that's what's going to make it 8 or 9 months. After he goes to court in November, 6-day trial, then, you know, it's going to go on those few months, enough time for them to go down and interrogate him. After they interrogate him, right around February 13th, I expect them to pull it all into one case. All one case, all of those crimes, because otherwise they'd have to go through all these states. That would take forever. So I think that they're going to roll it into one case and make the announcement on the anniversary of Delphi. That's the hope that I carry. Q&A. Ready? Go. Oh. With the $400 phone bill, I will no longer have a phone, nor will I get phone services through AT&T. AT&T, they suck. You know what it should cost to call Australia? I think it's like, I think it was like 7 cents a minute or something like that. If you have their special plan, international rates. If you don't, it costs you $400. I ain't paying them $400, man. I ain't. You know, I'm going to tell them and their crooked ass little lion ways to jam it up their backside. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. So back to the case. This week I sent TJB another letter, an 8-page letter. Now, what I did was I covered pretty much the same as I talk about on here, but I was asking questions that did not pertain to any case. I was asking him about the sadistic mentality that drove him. I also told him, I says, I don't think that he's a pedophile. Okay. I don't think that he seeks out like children. You see where I'm at? Like that. I think it's universally just female, but I think that the rest is due to like humiliation and so forth, because that's what gives him the big thrill. That's what makes him feel powerful. That's why he goes and does this. Now, from 83 all the way down to 9 years old, man, that's a long way, man. That's a very long way. So hopefully, if he's allowed a writing instrument, and I really don't think that he is, because I think that he would at least wrote me back something and said, yeah, I can't answer on the case. I can't, something like that, because I have literally sent him a couple books worth of, I think this is letter 8. And I think the minimum of them was 6 pages long. One was, well over 10, but I wrote that to him. I says, well, I figured he's being held, firstly, in isolation. 2, because, a threat of suicide, because that is what he was looking for. He was looking for police suicide when he pulled off the Catholic supply store. Thought they'd come knocking, man, have a shootout. They'd kill him. I think that that's what he was wanting. So I think he's held, in like, what would you call it? Like, where he can't commit suicide, no razor, no writing instruments, nothing that he could hurt himself with. That's why he's got the big beard, the long hair. Now they'll probably come in and give him a haircut, but I don't think that they're going to, allow him a razor or anything like that. But, we'll find out, because I may get a letter back. I mean, it ain't all that long down the road. Now, I did suggest to him, because it's a 6-day trial, that I hope that he was doing like BTK did, that where he was going to go in and confess and leave that to a jury, rather than going in and pleading a case. I mean, after this right here, I mean, what's he going to do? Just go in and say, oh, I was insane? Well, why'd you try to hide it? He can't really play that game. So I hope that he's going in, confess, get that out, get his conviction, and then go on with it. And it is my hope, especially given the evidence that they have in Delphi, that he should admit to all of them, all cases that he was involved in. Because in some of them, in many of them, he knows they got him. I mean, they got his DNA and fingerprints. There just ain't no way out, but they know where he was living and all that. It was the same thing like I told the sheriff in Genesee County. I said, once I traced back all the places where he had lived over time, I started checking in like that county that he lived in and surrounding counties, looking for unsolved rapes and murders. And, out of all of those, and I gave the ones that I found that I know he's responsible for, because he had never got caught committing a crime. And those 2 in Michigan that I found had DNA and fingerprints. Well, if you got DNA and fingerprints and nothing comes up, that person has never been caught committing a crime. Same as this guy. He was living in Flint. What if he doesn't confess? He does not have to confess. You see, that's the thing. I don't know, man. If everybody thinks a person's got to confess, that's absolutely wrong. I mean, look, you can get hit with a lot of things and not actually be seen, if they have the evidence. Let me use Delphi as a prime example. They have 2 people, minimally, that have seen him that day. They got audio of the guy, video of the guy, DNA, fingerprints. And I believe that he took video, and I think that they have that video as well. I think that that was one of the things that they found at his trailer. And it probably wasn't just Delphi alone. I think that there was other, commissions of crimes where he did take pictures and so on to kind of relive it at a later time. So, it's not really a matter that he has to confess, but when he knows that they have him, when he knows that he's never getting out of prison, I told him, I'm like, is it not better to just go forward, admit to all of them, give the families closure, because there's 2 sides to this, man. There's the man that everybody knew that said, oh, he's a great man, a great friend, just a great guy, man, even his neighbor said that. Everybody that knew him as a really great guy, a great friend, a guy there to always to help people. Now, that guy was a preacher, but then we have this other side. We have this demon side. We have this sadistic, evil side that comes out. So I think that he, and I don't want to call him schizophrenic because there would be other symptoms in there that I don't think that, we can attribute to him, if he was schizophrenic. But just like many sadistic serial killers, they carry a dark side in them. It's just that little piece, man, that breaks out, at the right time. And I think that he awaited opportunity and then jumped on it. And I think that that was the thing. He never stalked people, to my knowledge, never stalked anybody, but when an opportunity arose, and he was in that right, like intoxicated mood when it would come forward, that's when he would step in, probably as offering to help them, and then, commit the crime very brutally. So, and I told him, that was my thing. I'm like, I can look at all of this and hang on one second, one quick second. I'll be right back. People know I got a show on Tuesday. They know that. Okay. See there, on Tuesday nights, man, every Tuesday night, I have a show. You know when people are going to reach me? During my show. That's when. Okay. All right. Well, it's Tuesday night. And if anybody wants anything, if anybody's going to message me, anything like that, it's going to be right now. Hey, man, I got an idea. Well, we got to be there at 6 Tuesday. Yeah, no can do. Yeah, is the call from Australia. No, it was a message, actually. No, it was from down the street. Do what? He wanted that day. The victims may have been second to his plan. I don't understand. Nah, I don't think it's like that, man. I mean, on Delphi, it was the reverse date of Evansdale. I think that he would have preferred two girls, as far as that goes. And it was happenstance that two young girls did show up. But again, if it was not them, it would have been Cheyenne and her friend. They were right there right after. But if it was Cheyenne and her friend, I'm pretty sure that flannel shirt guy would have spotted that. He was 10 minutes behind him, and it takes so long to walk across that bridge that by the time that he would have got there back behind him, if they had stopped anywhere, he probably would have seen them at least walking down the side and back over the other way to the area where he wanted to commit the crime. Well, maybe, but I don't think that it was like that. I think that day just happened to be the day before Valentine's Day. It just happened to be. I mean, you take 7, 13, 12 and reverse it, you got 2, 13, 17. It was just the reverse day. At 5 years and added together 5, 13, or 7, 13, 12 and 2, 13, 17 both equal 5. Very weird, man. Very statistically odd. But it is how it is. And, again, that's where it kind of breaks statistics. It's not, it is statistics, but think about it like this. Of the 16 occasions where 2 minor girls were abducted during daylight hours, murdered, and murdered, there's 16 cases like that. That's an FBI statistic. Half of them have been solved, at least half, because it's in that statistic that half of those were by friends or a friend of the family. So I know that over half of them has been solved, but that's half of 16. But then there's part of that 16 that remain unsolved. Evansdale and Delphi are those. Now, you're looking at a person, or for a person, that's not afraid to abduct more than one person. Now, that's in Evansdale, that was Elizabeth and Lyric. In Delphi, it was Libby and Abby. And then if you go to Catholic Supply Store, we know it was Jamie Schmidt and 2 other women. Now, that right there is what tipped off the investigators in Missouri to say, this doesn't look like this was the first time this man has done this. It all ties together. It really does. And that's where I'm going. That's what I've been repeating. And again, 4 years, 4 months. Who don't want this to be over with? I do. I wanted it over. I wanted it over immediately. Like the following day, I wanted that guy arrested. It ain't quite that far. It ain't quite that far. It ain't 6 hours away. Not from Delphi. It's 4 hours away. But when you go from Eastern time back into Central, you lose an hour on your watch. It's still 4 hours long, but you lose that hour. So you would get there in 3 hours on the watch, but 4 hours drive time. So he would have been home by 6 o'clock. By 6 o'clock that evening. I don't think it is. I mean, not in Delphi. I don't think that he had or really knew anybody in Delphi. I think it just happened to be the trail. It was a small trail. It was hiked, but not heavily. So if somebody did come by, I mean, you could abduct them without worry of somebody being right behind them. It's a trail and it veers back out through the woods, so you're not going to see directly ahead of you. But if you got a handgun, you can kind of, get someone to follow directive, man, and take them to where you want on private property. Now, I think that was the biggest part of it, was that it was a small trail. He felt secure there. There's a lack of security, small town. Nobody knew him, nobody knew him by face or name. So I think that's what it is. Now, if you get up into Genesee County, he didn't know. Well, now he may have known or knew of Mary Pryor, because everybody in that little town of Lennon, where he was drinking, I mean, he was at that lone bar there drinking that day, and she lived right across the street from the highway, but everybody in that town knew her. You know, everybody thought that she was the sweetest old lady ever. And when she was like murdered like that, they all wanted to know who in the hell did that. You know, who would do that to that old lady? You know, I mean, how do we know it ain't our neighbor? You know, who would do that? So he may have known of her, but now I know he didn't know of Ann Pates. She was just driving through and her car broke down. You know, he didn't know Jamie Schmidt. They was just in that store. But during the commission of each crime, he had been drinking. That's what brings it out in him. It's the drink, man. It's the liquid courage. It's what brings it forward. And then you drink to kind of forget what you did, but the drink brings it right back. It's weird, man. It's the same thing applied with Ted Bundy. You know, a lot of sadistic serial killers really turn to alcohol, you know, for that reason. Oh, little Pookie's here. Hey, little Pookie, man. How you doing? Glad you made it. Yeah, 30 minutes in. Jeez, I just, yeah, very brazen. Completely brazen. Should be the guy's middle name. Get drunk and do brazen things. But you see, I'm like, now, not all of these, because Ann Pates was at nighttime. And I certainly believe that Mary Pryor was done at nighttime. It had to be. Yeah, definitely. But now Evansdale, daytime. Delphi, daytime. Catholic supply store, daytime. All three of those, 2 or more people. Two days time. It was on the 19th when he committed the crime, and on the 21st they raided his house. Well, yes, in the woods, but that's another thing on the Delphi and Evansdale, because I mean, in both cases, you got a small town with a small trail. By the small trail, you got a highway. You know, 2 girls were abducted from the trail. Both were found later, murdered, and the bodies were found in a creek or by a creek in the woods. Very weird, but identical. Now, I don't know anything about how the bodies were found in Evansdale. I mean, from my understanding, hunters were walking by. It was a big dip in the ground. They said unless you kind of was right there and looked down, you never would have seen it. But it makes me think, in connection with Delphi, that there could have been maybe staging, you know, or something like that. But man, he hit him like way back there, you know, where they just wouldn't be found easily, or at least after a long while. Now, somebody had said on that crime that after the girls were found, that a trapper had found a knife stuck in a tree right by there. Now, that made me think of the signatures in Delphi. You know, was it a murder weapon that was left behind? You know, that he left behind purposely? Because, and that was another question I'd ask him. It's like about the signatures, about the posing of the, you know, why do you do that? I mean, is it for the glory of it? You know, is it so that when they see that, they'll believe that this unknown guy did this again? You know, like what's the real nature of all that? You know, where does it play in mentally? Now, in that letter to the editor, and that was when he was living in Jackson County, Missouri, where he was preaching, he wrote a letter to the editor. And in that letter, man, he was stating that he did not like to see women get killed, or I mean, people get killed, even on because of horrendous crimes. Now, I felt that was probably because this guy got blamed for something that he did. And I think that in his head, he wanted cops to know that, hey, this wasn't that guy. This was me. Not him, but another guy, this guy you can't catch. And I think that it bothered him deeply that guy was blamed for it and executed. Now, on the same letter, he was talking about like he didn't like how they would abort babies by calling them fetuses. Oh, see, now if all of this are things that he really did enjoy, I mean, that really puts a good spin on like Satanism, or, maybe like Moloch, killing babies, killing children. Very terrifying. Margaret, how you doing? Hey, man, where's Wombat Dundee? What? Where's Wombat? Man, every week, man, people just don't show up. Man. 77 people here. Hey, Jean-Claude, how you doing? So, man, people just they ain't showing up, man. Here I am looking my Tuesday best with my Nike shirt on. So, Q&A. Anybody got Q? Anybody got A? I'm taking it. Yeah, where is Wombat, man? I know, man. Usually he's like one of the first people here. I haven't seen Wombat. You know what? I haven't seen him since last Tuesday, man. I mean, I don't know, man. He's got a different name. I ain't handing that out, but I mean, I haven't seen him anywhere else anyway. Only 46 likes. Oh, Yoshi, does he? Oh yeah, okay. You know what this is in here? Let me tell you something. I ran out of vape fluid, so I put in this 100% nicotine. Well, it's a 50% nicotine, and it's actually to mix in with your flavors and all this, so you can dilute it down to 6%. So I got it turned down really low and barely hit it. Because let me tell you, if you put that thing up on 120 watts, it'll knock you out. Yeah, Yeah, see, everybody was wondering where Wombat was. It wasn't just me. And just the facts. Yeah. Usually Wombat is. Watcher's here, though. So, anywho. Any questions, man? Any questions? 81 people. And it only takes a second to hit the, little thumbs up down there. It means a lot to me. But not only me. It means a lot to little Figgy. I told my neighbor the other day, I ain't going to give his dog's name away. But I always told him, man, I says, yeah, I mean, my dog's like really cool things, man. Like really highfalutin stuff, man. Like, the true crown prince of Uganda and shit. Like, that's how I do it, man. I don't want no simple name. I mean, like Rover, that ain't me, dude. That ain't me. I ain't even no dog Rover or Benji or nothing, Oh, well, yeah, people hit the like button now, man. Everybody's super cool. So let me see. Anything else? Anything? Yeah, man, I really need questions, man. Help me out with the question. Email address in case you get one later. Man, I missed that. No. She has already divorced him. Yes, he does. He does have a child. He lost that, I believe, in the divorce in 93 in California, Escondido, San Diego County. Another fact. Because they ended the investigation. That was the point of the briefing. Let's call it a new direction, and we'll say things like to the suspect. I mean, realize, you never thought we would change our investigative style, but we did. Now, why would he say that? Why would he say that to a suspect who has no idea what kind of style of investigation they're using to begin with? You see? Yeah. Now, the whole thing with that, they gave one word, guys, down the hill. Kind of lame to actually include that. Then they gave us the video, which was no better than the pictures. It was just as pixelated as the pictures, purposely, I believe, because I went to the other side of the bridge, and from the far side of the bridge to where he was standing, very clear. Very clear. You could tell exactly who it was. Now, they were a lot closer than I was at the end of the bridge, so it should have been a lot clearer, and it was. Now, we asked Sheriff Lesenby, well, why don't you release the video of him walking without audio? Because it would be clearer than the pixelated images. He said, well, that's an idea, and if this doesn't turn up a suspect in a good amount of time, then we may turn to that. Now, in already knowing, the same as I did, who it was, well, what were they going to do? They can't show you a clean video. You'd be like, holy cow, it's him. They didn't want that. So the whole thing of it was, we're going to put out this new information, including a new sketch without a hat on. He never took a hat off. You know, we're going to make him younger. We're going to take the facial hair off of him. But we're going to say, no, it's the same guy. This is just a better image of it. Well, if people seen him as they did back here with a hat on, which he had on, and facial hair, which he had, then why are you going to take his hat off and remove the facial hair and make him look younger? And say we feel he's 18 to 40 and is living right around here, hiding in plain sight. Yeah, he's hiding in plain sight, all right. He's in a St. Louis jail, and everybody, I know it. You should know it. If you don't, you ain't watched my channel very long. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button and the bell. You'll know. If I go into the kitchen to get me a Dr. Pepper, man, you'll be made duly aware of it. I don't really know. I'm pretty sure Holman still is. I think that he's one of the main investigators. But I don't really keep up on that. I mean, I do when they release something or when they say it, but I don't really keep up on who's doing what or anything like that. I'm not. It does me a little good. I mean, unless they come out and they give some amount of information, yeah, it don't really matter. Yeah, they probably did. Or that's what they said. I disagree entirely. I think it was made up. I think it was entirely made up, just generic, completely generic. Let me see. My neighbor the other day says to me, he knows I cover this case. He goes, well, what do you think about that guy that they caught that they said did it? Like who? The guy, man. It's got all the tattoos. He had a tattoo of those girls right here. Yeah. I said, no, he didn't. Oh, yeah. He did. They said so on the news. I said, well, the news is lying because that is not a fact at all. And this is my thing, because people believe that, like, people in Delphi are, like, really hung up and really know this case. They don't. They do not know this case. They're like everyone else, man. They listen to this, listen to that, and their mind's everywhere. They don't know. I've had people say, oh, I thought they caught him. Remember, he had the hatchet and he did. Remember that? Don't you remember when they caught him? I'm like, you're talking about Daniel Nations. No, it wasn't him. And I'm like, yeah, that's who you're talking about. And no, it wasn't him. No, it ain't Jägermeister. I'm an alcoholic, dude. The last thing that I would drink would be Jägermeister. And believe me, I don't touch alcohol. I'm not sure, but it will probably be the next election because I know he's been in one term. This would be second, so it's probably on the next election will be his last time as sheriff. Got to be careful with this, man. It will knock me out. Not, hey, that's this, man. I didn't do that. I want to point that out, man. I didn't do that, man. That wasn't me, okay? If it was, I'd be wiping right now. Yeah, it is. It's a matter of time. And one more time, I will state this, man. Until he is convicted, there will be no suspect. There will be no big person of interest. Nobody will be there. It's this guy. It always has been. It has been. So it's coming right down. Is it pike or pipe? Because right down the pipe. I don't know. It sounds better, but right down the pipe. I don't know. That sounds like a little drug use or something. When's the next election? I don't know. Let's say couple of years. Hard to say. I don't keep up on that. Hey, DJ, so cool, man. How you doing? Glad you made it, dude. Glad you're here. Yeah. Down the tubes. Well, you wouldn't say it's coming down the tube. Well, you could, but again, man, that sounds like going to the bathroom. Yeah, you see what I mean. You see what I mean. That is exactly. It's the point I make. People hear things and they take that to be real because somebody said it, and I mean they wouldn't make it up, and that's how absolutely everybody thinks. They hear about a suspect on the news, and the guy had tattoos, and with this 9-year-old girl, and someone said, and then it's like, oh yeah, he did it. No, news even said so, dude. That's how people believe. Yeah, see, it is pike coming down the pike. It could be like, well, I don't know, man. Oh, hey, thank you, Georgina, and I'm going to say it. That's Stoliker, right? I think it's Stoliker, but I appreciate that. I very much do. I'm looking for questions. And Georgina, this show is dedicated to you. Thank you very kindly. Yeah, wives' tales and wise tales. It sounds like, man, what do they call that? A wise tale. Like that's just a wise tale. Yeah. Why would they call it a wise tale? Yeah, exactly. And that is, I mean, that's where I go with it. Chadwell's a sick dude. I mean, so was, you guys need to help me out with the names. Who was the guy that, sexually assaulted the lady, then killed himself? That guy, sick as well. You look at a lot of these people, the first people that was blamed, man, the guy that worked there at Chrysler for a while. Sick guy, man. Very sick dude. Why would he be out of prison, you might ask? Well, I mean, if he was in prison, you would think that the prisoners wouldn't let him out. They'd just kill him. They don't do that, man. Yeah, Paul Letter, man. Thank you, sweet Anna. Him. Paul Letter. Sick guy. Now, he ain't doing no prison time, but he knew what was going to happen in prison. Oh, hey, man. Irish Angel. She's from Ireland. And I'm getting that sent out to you, but I got to get into Kokomo. Got to pick up Roy. Hang tight. She won a Bitcoin, a physical Bitcoin. Uh, Chadwell, maybe, yeah, if that's who you're talking about. But again, I mean, I do have some disagreement on the fact that TJB is a pedophile. I mean, I don't think it's above him to, without sounding graphic, to commit actions like that. But I don't think that he seeks that out sexually. I think it's just overall female, one, two, humiliating them. And I don't know where that stems from. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how it pops up. I don't know how he kept this life here and this life over there. Best I could probably attribute to it is Ted Bundy. And Ted Bundy, had said, man, in his last interview, he said, for the most part, I was a normal guy. I did normal things. I had normal friends, I had normal good time like everybody else. But there was this little dark spot that would always pull me back in, and that had to be the same with him, because I feel that he was this other guy, but I think that there was this dark spot within him that pulled him back in. And, that's me. And that was part of the questions that I asked him. It was really, it was more toward the mental aspects of it. How did it begin? How did it build up? When did it come out? When could you find that you couldn't keep it under control? Thank you, Anon. Appreciate it. Most kindly. Hey, whoa. There he is. This is my friend Baxt. Yeah. I'm televising from Burlington Studios, man. Right here. It's my living room. BB? Who is BB? Oh, BG. Got you. Okay. I see where you're at. Yeah, well, he is. But I think, again, man, it's in how you look at it. It's like he will predator on children if that's, the opportunity, if that's what's there. But on the flip side, I don't know he doesn't. Now, I think in Delphi he was, or at least he would have been, hopefully that's what he would have been seeking, was 2 minor kids. But I think it was almost like an act of fate that they showed up, man. It really was. I mean, they weren't catfished. He didn't know from anything that was online. That was looked through right off the bat. So I know he didn't know that they were going to be there. But he waited. He waited. And, they showed up. It was just how it happened. But he will, commit crimes on children. But again, I think it's the opportunity of who arises, who's there at that time, who's made available. You know what? I would agree with you, Teresa. I would. Aside of one little thing, and this again goes back to my questions to him. You see, most do. Most have a type, a person that they want them to resemble, and that's what they go after. Now, I think that that's where it differs with this guy completely, because this guy, he doesn't care about age. It's like it's not so much in his mind frame about the age. It's more about female and then humiliating them, and then brutally murdering them. The guy is like, to say brazen, but graphically brutal, just evil inside of him. Well, Let me go back to the very beginning. Everybody hang on here for about an hour. Now, February 22nd, which is weird because I was looking to put up a different green screen and I was going to use the one that I had put up as my thumbnail. But the thing is I was kind of asking in the title, when will it end? And then when I seen this right up here, I'm all like, oh, yeah, it is the day I said it would end. So I used that because I think that that is kind of when I believe that the announcement will be made, right around that time, if not on that date, right in that area of time, February, March of 2022. That's when they'll come out. They'll have the charges filed. So I put this up because that is right around the time I believe that it will happen like that. Go ahead, expand. Yes. Yeah, and I believe that he does. And again, that's why I ask him, like, in many cases, because sadistic serial killers, it usually goes back to early childhood. Not so much like right around puberty where it starts to develop and then expands over time. Usually, sadistic serial killers, it's a disciplinarian parent that kind of drives this or begins it. And usually it starts at a very young age. Well, the guy is definitely sadistic, beyond the normal sadistic. I mean, the guy's brutal. So there's a lot of things where I did and then kind of answered, but I said, I can't really go right there. I mean, because I don't know. I mean, there ain't no way I can look into the mind of a serial killer like that, that's sadistic, and understand it. I have no idea. So, I mean, that is what I was asking him on that. Yeah. Thank you, Watcher. I like Kemper, and I think that it goes even beyond that in some ways. I mean, it is, and I'm in full agreement with you on that. But some of them, whether they say it or not, it still goes back like that. It's just like Ted Bundy. Oh, I had a great childhood. Oh, I had great parents. Oh, I had all this and that and the other. Well, then where did this come from? It wasn't just in you to be like that. It's not even in human nature to become like that. Really, people are nice people. I mean, you meet somebody, I mean, whether they're an asshole or not, they think they're a good person. I knew a guy that was a complete asshole, and he's like, well, I don't know what everybody's problem is with me. I'm a good guy. I mean, I treat everybody cool. I'm like, what? Because people believe that they are, everybody believes that they're a good person. No, hell, man, I can tell you, man, I'm paranoid, man. I ain't very social. I'm just not very social at all, man. Hell, I'll go a week without seeing a person and not think dick of it. I won't think anything of it. I mean, it's the kind of the normal run of the mill for me. And I know people that, man, you give them 2 hours without talking to a person, they'll go crazy. They got to have people around them, man, to talk, to chit chat. And I ain't really like that, man. I spend the biggest part of my time like online, looking things up, man, studying. That's my love of life, man, is study, learning. Yeah, it's very true. And again, I think that it comes down to the way that their mind is made, and it's the way that it's wrapped. It's like their kids are one thing, but somebody else's kids that they don't know is another. I mean, how can we look at that and picture that? We can't, but these people can. And it's like I told him in the letter, man. I'm like, in my whole life, the only person that I ever seen sit and try to explain it was Ted Bundy. But even when Ted Bundy's talking about it, he's not really speaking the honest truth. He's kind of getting toward the truth, but he never goes directly there and says, well, in my life, man, I've really looked at this, to the best I could to see, they don't really come out with the real psychological reasons as to why, even if they know why. Yeah, but John John Kelly, profiler. See, he's the one that profiled him. Now, he's over on his channel trying to get views, as a big name profiler, not even looking at, yeah, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what that guy's issue is, but if he don't know what I know, then something's wrong with his profiling. There it lies. Now, I mean, I'd tell him that to his face. I mean, if I was sitting there talking to him, I'd go like, yeah, dude, I mean, everything you're saying online, it just seems like it's for views and nothing more. I mean, do you really need YouTube money? Do you? Oh, wait. A lot of people said hello. I mean, I seen him say hello. Hey, Dottie, man, it's Dottie, man. And that's back. Oh, hang on. There we go. And that's Baxter right there, man. That's little Baxter. Man, he made it across that bridge in record time. Got video of that. Hey, if you guys are ever coming back, let me know. Yeah. Well, they do, man, and they keep it very well hidden. And I mean, they play it right in public. Oh, good, man. Yeah, contact me at my email because I will no longer have a phone. My phone's leaving, so there will be no more phone service through AT&T. It's rotten, dirty Doug's. So you see, I'm sitting here, and I got ad lib. Man, I've ad lib for like 2.5+ years. It's hard to ad lib. It's hard, man. But it's just as hard to get good questions. Is people got good questions, but they never ask them. But they'll jump right back on Ronald Logan or some other crap, and that always bothers me. It really does. Israel Key was good to. You know what? Ken McElroy was really good to his kids. And again, it's one of those things with people like that in their life, they're happy in their life and how they do. And I forget who it was that was talking about BTK. And, he said that like him within his family, that he certainly had love for his family, that he had the love for his daughter as a daughter, that he had all those things that other people have. But, and again, he was talking about that dark hole in his mind, that he kept having to go back into, like Bundy, like Wayne Gacy, like the Green River, all of them, no matter how normal they appear in regular life, they may be that person, like that in real life. But there is that dark element that's in their mind that comes out, that has to come out. And I think in many cases, once they're caught, they probably wish that they had never fell into going as far as committing those actions. Another thing, let me tell you this. Now, I don't know if it's the gray or what, but look at this crap, man. See, like right here. Looks like I'm bald right there, man. Looks like I got a little bald patch. It ain't bald, man. See him up here. Yeah, it looks like I'm just missing face hair, and I'm not, man. I think it's just like graying in spots, man. Looks a little odd. I'm sorry. You know what? I probably need Valium. Oh, 87 what? 89 people watching, man. You know what? Thumbs up, man. Click. There it is. And subscribe. Hit the bell, and you'll be notified of absolutely everything I do. If I get up to use the bathroom at 3:30 in the morning, you'll be notified directly, immediately when I go. It won't be live though. Yeah. Believe me, man. You know what? Me and Greeno immediately on that. Because, one, we knew it wasn't a 77-year-old guy. We knew that. I mean, you can't look at Bridge Guy and say, yeah, he's 77. No, man, no. But the people, on the other hand, man, people had no one to blame. It's got to be him. Didn't you see Inside Edition? They showed you it was him. I mean, this is how people think, man. People do not rationalize. They do not use facts or evidence. They cannot compile a case. They only go by hearsay, and they watch everybody's channel to hear what people are saying and then go repeat it like it's true fact. That is BS. That's crap. People do it any damn way. Yeah, you know what I am, man. I'm looking really good. Greeno's a good old boy? I don't even know what that means. Are you calling him a hilljack? Is that it? I think he was born right here in Lafayette, Indiana. We're a little north to be good old boys. Now, that right there is some of the best advice that you can give a person. Fact check, man. Always fact check. If I say something and I say it's a fact, you can go look it up and see for yourself that it's a fact. People don't do that. Because if people fact checked everything I said, people would be fully on my side. They'd go, hell yeah, it's him. Damn straight it's him. They don't. What's a hilljack? It's somebody from the South. Where are you from, man? England? What's a hilljack? It means you come down from the hills, man, from down south, man. You can't read or write real well, but you can play a banjo like a mother hump. Yeah. That's a hilljack. Hey. Oh, Jeremy. Oh, see, now my family's from Tennessee. My dad would be considered a hilljack, but not in a banjo playing kind of way, though. I don't mean it like that. Wow, 7 days of good luck. Oh, okay, hang on. I got to go hit the like button. I got to get over to YouTube, click that like button so I can get 7 days worth of good luck. So I don't have a week like this week again. I think you mean editing skills. If you're talking about Greeno. His investigating skills are yet uncertain. Now, if it was different, then, him going to jail and so on and so forth and so on, I think that him and I would have been on the exact same page. The exact same page. Troll? Where's the troll? If you see a troll, get rid of them. If the troll has a problem with it, man, they can contact me with my email, and I can tell them to jam it up their backside. There you go. You know what? I don't have any split ends. Never have. Well, yeah, but no, okay, hang on. In regards to Greeno, is he doing better investigation? Is he? Is he investigating better? Has he come to any conclusions on Delphi? Has he done that? Or is his editing skills getting him by? You can tell me. You can tell me. I know the guy. Oh, yeah, man. Right on, man. Thank you, DJ So Cool. Man, you know what? 90 people, man. And all of you, every one of you rocked the most, just like you said, man. Yeah. And yeah, I do, man. I hope you guys get more than 7 days. Good luck. Yeah, Tennessee is, man, and that would be a great place. I mean, I would not mind living in Tennessee, man. The weather's beautiful. Love it. Oh, man. Can you guys hear Puppy? Because right now he's crying, man, and he's wanting out here in a big way. I put him in the room, though. You know, that way he wasn't climbing in my lap tonight. No, 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 no. It ain't like that. No, man. Greeno is probably one of my best friends. I mean, there ain't no falling out, but I mean, like I stand on my word, and of course, his original word to me was, "Don't tell anybody I said it was him." I said, "I won't." You know, I said, "I won't. I won't tell anybody you said it was him." But I told him to tell everybody he was in jail with that it was him. Okay, fair enough. I've explained it to him, and he knows, and he wants to stand on the side that it's got to be somebody else. I don't know if he's hoping that it will be, but it won't be, and it still is who I say it is. It's still TJB. It was when it happened, and it has been since, and it will be until they file charges. I'm not throwing stones, man. I'm not throwing stones. I'm not. I'm not throwing stones. I'm just saying, look, man, here's the thing. Greeno is a great editor, man. I mean, he enjoys editing. Man, I've seen him sit down and spend an entire week editing one video. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. I sat down and, man, within 45 minutes, I'm like, nah, you know what? My information's in here. Send it on. That's me. You know, I mean, because I don't care to edit. Now, I do if somebody's there. I mean, like as an example, like if me and Greeno were editing, you know, together, that's different because then we can kind of like touch upon what the other person's doing. You know, it's just like when he's there, I says, well, why don't you do this? Or if I'm doing it like this, he says, well, why don't you go like this and then add the, you know, and I was like, you know what? You have a seat and do that because, you know, then it's different because then you get like, you know, different aspects. And I like that. I like to give information, but I like good questions. I like it when people ask a good question. But right now, there isn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was talking to me. But no, man. You know, me and Greeno's fine. I mean, yeah, we ain't got no issue with Greeno. He don't have an alibi. He don't have an alibi. I mean, here's the thing. Let me explain it to you like this, Teresa. You got him down there. Now, police in Delphi have his audio, his video, his fingerprints, his DNA, two people that saw him. Why do they care about an alibi? We know where you were. And on top of that, you know, you would sit down here, 3 women, Catholic supply store, shot one of them. We know it's you. The FBI's got your DNA. We know it's you, dude. Now, you can say you didn't do it, but hey, we can go for death at this point. It's a capital offense. How do you want to play? Well, okay, yeah, all right, man. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Because that's all it's going to take. And like I told him, man, come out with it. Tell them what you did. I mean, it's as simple, man. You set 3 years in isolation. If you don't know, you're never getting out. You see? So if there is a side of God in him, I told him, I says, have faith in God, admit to all of it, and at least give the families closure. Because that is the best that you can do, you know, with your life now. It's the only thing you've got left. You're doing on Abby and Libby. And not sure I understand. Yeah. Sounds theoretical, Kramer. But you know what? If you say it enough times, people will believe you. They will. They'll believe you. Oh, yeah. I remember when that used to be my phone number. I remember. Oh, that's huge, man. That makes me stand out, Michael J. Cat. I don't want that. There we go. Little Michael J. Cat. All right. Well, you're saying haven't gone after. Now, I've explained this many times. They knew because, firstly, Carroll County got a telephone call from St. Louis police. Now, I believe that the reason that they got this telephone call was for this reason. That was the first time that TJB had ever been arrested, ever. So, of course, they fingerprinted him and the like. Now, when his fingerprints came back as a match for one, and I'm just pointing out one of them was Delphi, Indiana. Now, when it came back with that, they called Carroll County. They looked into the case. Now, upon looking into the case, they called Carroll County and they said, we have a man that has never been jailed in his lifetime and had no DNA or fingerprints to be matched to. He looks like your sketch. He was dressed exactly like Bridge Guy when committing this crime. Again, 3 women in the middle of the day. Evansdale, 2 girls, middle of the day. Delphi, 2 girls, middle of the day. Now, when they had fingerprints and sent mugshots, now they could have went to the 2 people with different people other than that guy and said, can you pick out that guy if he's in here that was at the trail that day? If they both identified the same person, TJB, as that person, plus when the FBI's DNA, once they got the genome structured and so on, and it matched back to Delphi, the fingerprints matched, they would know he did it. Now, here's the thing. Why haven't they gone after TJB? Well, it's for this reason. Perhaps you remember Daniel Nations. He was arrested in September of 2017 in Colorado. Now, they said that was on 4 minor felonies. 4 minor felonies. TJB's in there for 17 huge felonies. First-degree murder being one of them. Now, they went out to Colorado to go talk to Daniel Nations. Now, me and Drew Greeno sat right here over the weekend. We're waiting for word. That following Monday, when we thought we would get word, that was when the Las Vegas shooting happened. And we're like, holy shit, the world's gone mad. Well, what'd they come out and say? Well, at this time, we can neither include him or nor exclude him as being the suspect. So we knew that before you left, man. You ain't saying anything. Well, when Daniel Nations called me and I asked him about that, he said that his public defender stopped them at the door without consulting him because he represented him. He said, different state, different crime. You can wait. You can extradite him when the time comes. But right now I represent him and you are not talking to him about this. Now, his public defender, because TJB has a public defender down in St. Louis, do you think they're going to let him go in and talk to him about other murders? Hell no. That's why. Now, until he's convicted, and then Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, California, I do believe, probably even Missouri as well, with the possibility of Tennessee and maybe other states will go after him for other crimes where he left DNA and fingerprints and thus forth. That's why. Well, I don't think anybody's going to be enjoying the reward money. There will be no FBI reward. There won't be one. Because it was phoned in by law enforcement in St. Louis. And let me take this back to Carroll County's other unsolved murder, that of Luella Mabott. Now, apparently, as it was believed, she was taken, abducted by Amber Green, murdered. And then him and his brother took off for Texas. Now, when Cass County, which is a surrounding county of Carroll, and this is back in the 1860s, okay, he got on horseback after following the mail to see how he was getting letters back to his mom right here in Young America, like 5 miles up the road from me, how they was getting letters back and forth. He traced it through the family. They would send to this member of the family, they would send to that member of the family, then back to his mom. Once they knew where the letters were being sent from in Texas, he rode down there on horseback. Probably took him months to get there on a horse, literally months, from Carroll County or Cass County, Indiana, all the way down to western Texas. Found them, arrested them, brought them back on horseback, 2 men. Now, once they got back to Carroll County, and he asked for the reward money, which I think was $3,500. That was big money back then, huge money. And they said, no, we ain't giving you that reward money. You're law enforcement, and you were doing your job. He was very bitter about that. But the fact should still remain. Law enforcement shouldn't get that reward money. And if they do, I would be livid. I would be livid as hell that they got that reward money. That reward money should go to the families. $250,000 to the family of the girls in Evansdale and the family of the girls in Delphi, because that's where that money belongs. And that ain't for payment, man. That ain't for payment. Look, those girls will never come home. Maybe it could help with the softball field, something like that. But that's where that money needs to go, right there. Well, we can't say that. We can't say that. We know that they was murdered, but, we have no idea what was done to them. None at all. I would suspect it being TJB that it was not anything cool, but, The quick question. Do you think TJB was involved in the 2 little girls that were also killed in the woods before Libby and Abby? Now, are you speaking about Evansdale? Or Zion, Illinois, I think it was, because that is solved. It wasn't TJB. Now, when somebody brought that Zion murder up, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll look into that. But when I looked it up, I had seen it before, because I seen where the DNA had matched a guy. And I think they went down to Carolinas and brought him back to try him. So if that's who you're talking about. If it's a different case other than Evansdale or Zion, tell me about it. Give me the yeah, totally. Yeah, Evansdale, completely. Yeah, they're extremely connected. I mean, beyond doubt, man, beyond statistics, connected. I did a video on it. Look up Evansdale Delphi similarities and then put Michael Catt right after it on YouTube. I'll pull up my video. I covered probably the main of the similarities between the two. Now, one thing I hate, and it's not so much live, because I know the people in chat, or at least by their names on here. I know who they are. But like, if I sit down and I'm doing a video where I got to voice it over, man, it's hard to do, because I'll script out everything that I want to say, and then I'm reading it. Then I'm like, yeah, it don't sound right. Man, I should have said that with an emotion. I should have said that, and I get so picky about it that before I even get through the voiceover, I'm like, screw it. I ain't even doing it. And then I come on here and talk about it. But then I know that when I talk about it on here, people hear what I say, but it's part of 2 hours of me talking. It's like standing in front of somebody and talking for 2 hours. Man, they ain't going to hear 1/10 of what you said, Yeah, please do, because I think that it will answer some questions on that. But it wasn't bad. I didn't edit worth a crap on it or anything like that. Don't expect to be shocked or amazed by the editing, but the information is there, and it's pretty quick, and it does cover the main of all the similarities that I'm aware of, I think. That's a maybe. That is a maybe. Hang on, I got to take that down. It's a pretty big message, but yeah, it's a maybe. Now I remember that they was talking about in Evansdale that he had used like quiet coercion, to get them back to his vehicle. Could have said he was law enforcement. He could have said, "Hey, girls, could you help me real quick, man? I was walking my dog and he went this way. Help me find him and I'll give you $5." Something like that, something to get him back over toward his vehicle without scaring them. And the same thing, I mean, he could have done the same thing in Delphi. He could have stated he was law enforcement. "I need you to guys come over this way, man, because we got some guy and he's heading back over to the north side of the bridge. Okay, guys down the hill here." Something like that. We don't know. I mean, and law enforcement was never came out from that, rightfully, because they don't want to give out any information on the case like that, where it involves the murderers or anything that he may have done, because people can go in and confess in knowing that, and confess to a crime they didn't commit. Now, it sounds stupid. Like, why would somebody admit to a crime they didn't commit? People do it all the time, man. And there are people out there that are nuttier than what you believe. They really are. Was he? He had to have been. I mean, he was in Evansdale at that time. I can give you that. Now, this was my thought on it, because I knew that there was these similarities with Evansdale. And me and Greeno sat right here, and we covered all the similarities, between Evansdale and Delphi. Now, neither one of us could sit here and say, yes, the same guy had to have done both, because we didn't know a guy that we could connect to both. And people would ask me at the same time, well, do you think the guy that committed Delphi is a serial killer? Well, I don't know. The only other one that I could point to would be Evansdale, but my God, man, that's like 500 miles away. I mean, it would seem a little odd, but at the same time, they are very similar. And at that time, we had no idea of a car. Now, it wasn't until TJB, his name had crossed my path with the telephone call they made to Carroll County when I started looking into it. Now, when I went from St. Louis to Fort Wayne and then up to Montrose, because I was looking at a route, a way that he would drive. Now, when I did that and it showed I-70 in the Hoosier Heartland, I'm like, bam, he drove. He had taken that route many times, had stopped at that trail, seen that as a good place to await opportunity. And that's why on the reverse state of Evansdale, that's where he went. Small town, there's no security. There's nobody right there. People don't know him by face or name. So if somebody comes by that he wants to victimize, he knows he can take them right off right there over to private property, commit the crime, and then leave. So once I knew that he had drove, that's when I connected right back to Evansdale. I said, yeah, he had drove. I knew at that time that he didn't walk out of Delphi. He had drove there. So in knowing that, that's when I went back, connected the similarities back to him. In both cases, Evansdale and Delphi, he lost a long-term job 1 month prior to, and during both cases was unemployed. Fact checking. That's what I ask. 3 more thumbs up for 100. You know what? I've watched a little bit of television down there, but it's usually when I'm at a friend's house. I don't watch television. I tell people that television will mess their mind up. It makes them believe the way that they want them to believe. Let's see. You know what? I have not owned a television in 16 years, but even when I owned one, I rarely watched it. There was some things, some sporting events, stuff like that. Most of the time I'm on the computer. I'm looking things up. Already have. Already have. Know all about it. Stuff like that don't slide by me, man. All right. It is 7:30. Is there anybody out there that has any? Well, wait a minute. Only takes a second, man. Hit the like button, man. Hit the thumbs up. It helps. But I do need some questions, man. See, this is a good question. Now, this is my belief. If you walk by someone, okay, if you walk by somebody on the trail, somebody's coming in and you're leaving, or you're walking in, and and you guys just walk past each other, what do you say? You don't stare at them. I mean, they're not somebody suspicious. They're a hiker. They walk by you. Hey, how you doing? Pretty good. You? Yeah. Great day. Yeah. And you know what? 2 hours later, you're going to go, wow, man. Because what are you going to remember about their face? Nothing. You're not really staring at their face. You look over, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And you stay about your way. Now, the lady that was walking her dogs said, okay, that she talked to him for a couple of minutes. Her dogs came down that way. She seen him on the south side of the bridge at 12:30 that day, at 12:30 approximately. Okay. Now, upon seeing him, they talked for a minute or two. Now, it was a very mild, unseasonable February day. She's out walking her dogs. This guy's hiking. Hey, how you doing? Pretty good. All this and that. Out seeing the trail. Yeah, beautiful day, man. Beautiful day out here. I got my dogs out. Yeah, fantastic. It seems like an early spring, doesn't it? This kind of thing for a couple of minutes is what I imagine. Now, when you're talking to somebody, you're looking them in the eye. You're talking to them. You're taking in their face and what they say and how their expression. That's where you get to see their face. You will remember their face. That's where this sketch right here came from. Now, to say that she did anything with the second one, I don't know how. She's seen him with a hat on. She's seen him with facial hair. So why would she have them draw him without a hat or facial hair? You see where I'm at? The second sketch was just not right. It wasn't. And I knew it wasn't right. But I also knew that the briefing wasn't going to be a suspect announcement because I knew they hadn't gone and talked to him. I knew that they couldn't talk to him, just like Daniel Nations. They couldn't go down there and talk to the guy. So I knew it wasn't a suspect announcement. So I thought, well, what are they going to talk about? And why go watch it when I can't ask a question? I'll go down to my friend's house, watch it on TV, then give a live, reaction to it. And I was really upset, man. I was really upset. But I mean, like it came to me after a couple of days, that they were ending the investigation. They had 70,000 phone-in tips, all of which they had to investigate. If anybody called in on anything on the new direction, it could be deemed uninvestigatable, and nobody has to go investigate it because we already know who it is. But why can't they tell us? Because if we did, we'd be asking them questions that the only way that they could answer is through their investigation. What have they said from day one? We're keeping this close, very close to our vest here. We're not releasing vital information. Well, that's what people would be wanting, was those questions that gave vital information. Well, they ain't giving that away when they know that guy's sitting right down there and his attorney's listening. They ain't going to do that. Nor will they, nor should they. They did this rightfully all the way through, and they will nail this guy. That's why. One of them is, I'm sorry, man. Sorry, Georgina. Okay, wait, why? Well, and one more time, because if they say that, hang on. Because if they come out and they say this exactly like they did, we believe that this man is 18 to 40 and he lives right around the Delphi or works in the area. He's hiding in plain sight. Okay. Now, if they give a second sketch this generic, that's made to look younger than this, okay, than the real sketch, then they can go, well, yeah, I mean, they're the same guy, but we think this one right here looks more like him. So we're really just putting this as our number one sketch because they want people to look at that second sketch. They're ending, understand my words here. The briefing, when they did all that, was to end the investigation. They knew who did it, but they can't tell you. They can't tell the media, or the media would be up their ass wanting to know their investigation. They cannot do that. They didn't know how long that guy was going to be down there in jail going before he was convicted. Might be a year, might be 2 years. Look, it's going to be 3 years. Now, 3 years of everybody asking them questions about their investigation. What are they going to do? Nothing. They can't answer. We can't answer that. We can't answer that. We're sorry, we can't answer that. One more time for the record, we cannot answer that. They would have been inundated for the whole time. Now, if they end the investigation by giving some stuff that might be a little phony, you see, might be a little off, well, they can back that up with, well, yes, but we hadn't went and spoken to him, so we didn't know. And everybody will go, but you got him. You got him, though. You know, and that'll be the end of it. There'll be no bad guys. Law enforcement will be there to be respected and loved. However, it'll all be as it is. But that's why. That's why. Here's the thing. You're taking this back at a different time, Pookie. At the beginning of this, because it was almost 2 years in when TJB was arrested in St. Louis. Before that, they had no idea and felt that he was probably from around Delphi. Okay, so they put it up across the nation, on different billboards in different states, trying to find anybody that might be able to identify him through those photos. Now, after that, I think that they have not. I mean, and those photos still stand. I mean, like they're still there in Delphi, And whenever somebody takes me over there to Delphi, I point it out. See, they're still there, man, and they're faded from the sun. Ace. Ace. I don't even know what to make of that comment, bro. I don't. One more time for the record. One more time. One more. Here it is. They got DNA and fingerprints of the suspect. They matched TJB. They're sitting in jail down in St. Louis. Now, if they filed charges against him right now, if they filed charges against that man, his lawyer would say, we demand a quick and speedy trial. They'd be like, there's no way we can get him here in that amount of time. So we win. See ya. Bye-bye. We win. You filed charges like an asshole. Too late now, isn't it? They aren't going to do that because they're not stupid. They know full well what they're doing. They're going to wait, go down and talk to him, file charges, and convict him. That's why. Thank you for asking the question. No problem. No problem at all, man. Glad I get out. But yeah, that goes back to the beginning. Thank you, Baxter. Well, I was just kind of curious about that question. Oh, I'm glad they ended the investigation. I don't know if he's trying to be a wise ass or what, but let's see. Do you think law enforcement know how he coerced them via the audio? If so, why sit on it? May say much about the perp. If somebody, man, I'm going to try to answer this correctly. Greeno sat and stared at those photos, man. I mean, for like weeks. You know, he'd constantly be sitting there staring at the photos of Bridge Guy. And I'm like, dude, why are you staring at those pictures? I want to know who it is. Do you know who it is? No. I said, well, staring at that photo ain't going to tell you. You see where I'm at? Staring at that photo, if you don't know who that is, it wouldn't make a crap if it was in 100% 4K. You still would not know who it is. Now, it's just like the crime. Knowing what happened at the crime does not tell me anything about the person who did it. I mean, I already know by other crimes that was committed that he's sadistic. He's a serial killer. I know that. Now, in knowing how he did it, I don't think a guy went around and said, well, if I was going to go victimize two young girls, I'd tell them I did it this way, and I would tell them I was a cop, or however it may have applied, and that would tell us who did it. I mean, I really don't think so. Now, at first, they was keeping a lot of that very tight. You know, they were very tight-lipped about all of that, and they still are. You know, because they do not want to give away anything that might cause somebody to go in and confess, and knowing some aspects of it, they know who they're looking for. Now, when TJB popped up and they got the fingerprints and the DNA, they knew right then, man, that yes, this guy matches our DNA, fingerprints, our audio, our video. We know who did it. We can't go talk to him, because they won't allow that. The guy's down there facing first-degree murder charges and must face justice for what he did. You see where I'm at? So they're not going to go down there. And that was told to me explicitly by Trooper Kim Riley. Hey, they're dealing with him down there, and that's good, because that guy did a very bad thing. And I agree. And I knew they couldn't go down and talk to him until he had gotten convicted. So there isn't anything that's going to tell us anything. If you're looking to know who it is, I'm telling you who it is. I'm telling you exactly who it is. I've been on this for a long time. It's TJB. And as soon as he's convicted in November of 2021, you'll know who did it, because they'll come out and tell you it's TJB. That is a fact. Just wait and you'll see. You'll be right on it, man. Oh, wait, tornado warnings. Oh, man, crap. I'm being shut down by tornado warnings, man. Okay, you know what, man? My dad told me that I was conceived during the Palm Sunday tornado. That's right. That's what my dad told me. He said, yep, me and your mom went to the movies, man, and that was in my Mercury. It was a real hot rod, man. Loved that car. And then I looked up the date of the Palm Sunday tornadoes, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That was 2 months before I was conceived. So, no, no, it was, or no, it was actually 2 months after I was conceived. So my dad was close, and I do believe something happened that night in his Mercury, but you know, I had already happened, if you see where I'm at. Said, I may have missed it, but why November 21st? That was the date that TJB was arrested on in St. Louis. He committed the Catholic supply store sexual assault and homicide on November 19th. He was arrested 2 days later on November 21st, 2018. If that's what you're asking. Exactly. You know what? That might sound right, but I don't know a whole lot of cornfields down south. I think you're probably more considered a Yankee if you're conceived in a cornfield. Just me. Oh, yeah. No, 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 no. No, I didn't say I would know that. Okay. I didn't say that we will know that. I said that's when he goes to court. He goes to court on November 1st, 2021. It's a 6-day trial. That's what it states. I don't know how, unless he's going in to confess like BTK did. Now, I think that that is what's happening. I think that he's took it to, you know what, I will go in and confess to this crime and confess to a jury, and then they can deliberate for life or life without parole. I think that that's what he's going to do. Now, if that's how he does it, then after 6 days, let's say it's the 7th plus weekend, after that, once he's convicted, then we'll know. Because after he's convicted, then all these states can go down and talk to him, because now he's no longer represented. So once they go down and talk to him, then they can come out. They got DNA, fingerprints. They put their cases together over 3 years. That's when they will be able to hit him with the crime. Now, it's probably going to take a little bit longer than in November. But after he's convicted in November, then we'll find out right afterwards. Right now, I think it's probably 8-9 months away, probably February 13th, 2022. Thank you, BS. I appreciate it. If you got a question, throw it out there, man. Hit me hard with it. You're very welcome, Bev. Exactly. BS rock. Hey, Christy. How you doing? I am doing just fine, thank you. Yeah. And you know what? If you just got here, man, hit that thumbs up. You'd be doing me a favor. Only takes a second. 1 second. Thumbs up. And if I got over 100, that is so sweet. Talking about Canada, did you see the news about the buried? No, I didn't. I did not. You know what? No need. No need. Look, man, for 3 years, and it will be 3 years once he's convicted. I mean, it will be like right at 3 years since he was arrested, and they've known for 3 years. Now, it's not losing faith in law enforcement, because I think that they've made this case. They've done this case exactly right, precisely right, and I cannot take that from them. I think that they did a very fantastic job, and thumbs up for them, man. Right on law enforcement on this case. You guys have rocked. Right on. The Westminster Dog Show's on? Okay, now see, I would be watching that. I would be watching that, man. I totally would. I remember that one year when the Beagle won, and I was just like, you know what? I made a video of that Beagle winning. It was a beautiful Beagle, man. A beautiful Beagle. And I mean, I went on. I was talking about the Beagle. You know what, man? I don't know if anybody remembers American Pharaoh winning the Triple Crown. I mean, but if you do, it was the first one since, oh, holy crap, man. I forget which one it was. The last one to win. It wasn't Seattle Slew. Maybe it was. No, it wasn't Seattle Slew. Anyways, so I made a video, man, about American Pharaoh winning the Triple Crown. And then I went on and I made a backup video where I was talking about that he was using steroids, and he had to ask his trainer, man, to inject him because he couldn't hoof it up by himself. And everybody's like, "You're lying, dude! You're lying! He wasn't taking steroids." Like, you know what? People in humor, man. People just don't get humor. I don't know, man. I mean, it was funny, man. It was a funny video. Oh, really? Huh. No, I thought when you was talking about indigenous children, man, I thought you was talking about like from long ago. No, I will check into that. Anything that is exhibition is people paying money while they get in there and spar. It's completely fake, fraudulent, and I wouldn't have paid a dime to see it, not one dime. That's what I thought about it. In fact, boxing anymore has become just fraudulent. It's not what it used to be. In today's world, everything is artificial, artificially flavored, produced. Everything's crap, and nothing's made to last. Everything's Chinese garbage, and the dollar is about to hit the table, man. It's about ready to go down like a lead weight off the Empire State Building. So that's how I feel about it. It's just like Mayweather and what's that, Collins? I forget what his name was. Man, I made a bet with a friend of mine. I'm like, dude, Mayweather, I'll kick his ass. Oh, you want to bet? Yeah. Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, Mayweather kicked his ass. Duh. I mean, Mayweather's a boxer. Like MMA. What's he going to do? I mean, go get in there and outbox the guy? Hell no. No, not really true. Not really true at all, Christy. Wrestling's always sucked. But it's entertaining. You see, that's where they get you. Let me tell you, man, programming isn't good programming unless it's entertaining. Yeah, I am too. I really am. But you know what? In many cases, it's the people and they bring it on themselves. I've talked about Divock. I've talked about Divock 91. And I tell people it's fraudulent. It's completely fake. It's a narrative. It's BS. But, you know, I got people going, oh, no, it's real. It's real. I said, let me tell you something. In a real pandemic, people don't debate whether it's real or not. Okay? They know people that are dying. They see people that are symptomatic. Have you seen one person on television or anywhere that had that? They're on a ventilator because they got like Divock 19. No, you don't. You know why? Because it's fake. But they want to inject the entire world. You know what happens after that? And if you don't, you probably watch television and you believe all theories. Because that's winning without firing a shot. If you see where I'm at. That's the takeover. Well, here's the thing. Law enforcement doesn't go out and make everybody afraid. You know, that's kind of like what they try not to do. Now, if they told everybody in Delphi, look, man, we got a killer. We got a brutal killer out here, and we don't know who he is. Now, he may live local, and the best thing that we can tell you is to keep your kids inside. Don't let them out. Don't send them anywhere. You know, keep an eye on them full time. Well, they don't know how long it's going to be until this guy's apprehended. You know, so they don't do that. Now, the sheriff of Genesee County, and again, I mean, I cannot state that this is fact, but this is my thoughts on it. You got 2 unsolved rapes and murders, both brutal. And in both cases, you have DNA and fingerprints. Now, I believe, okay, that DNA and the fingerprints between those 2 cases matched. You got 2 little bitty towns. Always remember, these are little bitty towns, man. This ain't like going to Chicago where this stuff happens every day. These are little dinky towns, 450 people, 800 people, 3,500 people, 4,600 people. You see, these are little small towns. So when you have that, you don't come out and say, look, we got a sadistic serial killer on our hands. We have DNA and fingerprints, but we don't know who he is. Sorry. Yeah, the whole county would have crapped right in their pants. They would have thought, well, man, we're all going to be victimized. You need to find him. That's exactly what you don't do. So I believe that that's why Tobe Lesenby had said that. He was trying not to freak everybody out. But They felt that with those photos, they'd be able to apprehend that man rather quickly. Now that failed. That did fail. Now he said when talking about that, and I forget his exact words, I think I seen it, and I think Angie put the video up where she was interviewing him. And you know what? I will ask you to go look it up because I don't want to misquote him. But look that up, and that might be on her channel. God, man. See, I have a hard time with the things because it's like truth and justice, justice and truth, and some of it, man, I forget the wording. But look that up because, that was part of it. But I don't think that he was going to come out and say, yeah, we got somebody that really brutalized these girls. Everybody needs to kind of keep their kids and themselves hidden. Because I think that they really felt that they was going to have the guy pretty quickly. In fact, 1 year in, Doug Carter of Indiana State Police, they was relying on those photos capturing the guy. And he said at the first year press conference, we believe that somebody out there knows exactly who this is. We believe that you know who it is and you're afraid to come forward. We will protect you. And they felt that because they felt that this guy might be from right around Delphi, and that somebody did know through those through the photos at that time, it was prior video, who it was. But that wasn't the case because the guy is not from around Delphi. In fact, man, he's from a couple hundred miles north of Delphi. Well, actually, not even a couple hundred. He'd be over 100 though. Let's say about 120 some miles north of Delphi. Oh yeah, we can hit 100. Hey, 87 people, you know what? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, give me 100, and I'll dedicate the show to all 87 of you. Plus BS too. And man, now our super chat's gone. Man, I'm sorry. Because I also dedicated the show to her too. But you can all have the dedication. 98. Well, you know what? I'll live with it. I'll be okay. I'll be all right. I'll make it through the night. All right. Yes. Right on, man. Thank you, DJ. So go. You rock. 101 too. All right. So, everybody, I got time here. Give me a question. I need a couple questions. I don't want good questions. I want those questions where I got to, I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't think that anybody, right, Chinese pandemic. Look, let me tell you something, man. China had crap to do with this. Because let me tell you, if it was China, if it was really China, don't you think that the UN and everybody would have like terrorist charges against them? Hell yeah, they would. Everybody's like, well, we think it's China. Yeah, of course. Wuhan, too. Just like the book. Yeah. I'm really scared now. Hey, 1 hour to go till Gomer Pyle. Yeah, everyone's afraid of China, man. That's because, you know what? People watch television. That's why. I am not afraid of China. Everything that we buy comes from China. Everything that used to be quality now is broke before you get it in the box. Everything that you get is disposable. It's artificial. It's shit. Look at all the technology that we supposedly have. It should be used for all this great stuff, right? Wrong. They use that technology against you because it's not for you. It's for them to take over you. Never forget that. Alaska 2.0. Guess what? Another show dedication to Alaska 2.0. Thank you very kindly. There you go. It is. Thank you very much, Georgina Stoliker. You rock. Yeah, you know what? this happens, man. I mean, it really does. Like Muslims, and then you had, what was it? Black Lives Matter came out on the side of the Palestinians. Why? Why? Is their skin darker than Israelis? We don't know. Do we? No, it's because they're fake and fraudulent. They're called paid for. Just like paid for doctors, paid for scientists, paid for protesters, paid for. See, it's all paid for. And what happens? The media expresses it like that, And I'm all like, see, that's why people that watch the news literally believe that this shit's real. No, it ain't. It's paid for. Period. I don't watch it. I don't watch any of it. I have no worry about China or people from China. I mean, geez, Chinese women are really hot too, man. I mean, not as hot as Jewish women, but, that's just me talking. But I mean, like, Chinese women, me. I'm like, hey, Chinese women, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't actually, I'll save that for later. I believe so. I mean, they do. They have the DNA match, fingerprint match. The people that seen him, they got the audio, the video. They got everything they need for Delphi. They really do. You know what? It might be the first time that one of the first times she had watched my channel. No, here, I'll type it in. But the thing is, if I say his name, YouTube gets very upset because, well, hey, look, he committed a capital offense down in St. Louis. But, man, you can't apply a different crime on him. I mean, he might be innocent of that. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was going to type his name in. Here you go. TJB in the chat now. Yeah. In jail in look him up. Welcome back. Welcome back, Sir Moitz. Well, they are. And you know what? Again, I mean, like I called this actually over 4 years ago. When they started YouTube Red, that was the beginning of it. And I heard there's the local DJ going, yeah, good. Thank God they started YouTube Red. Now we ain't got to watch all those stupid advertisements. Well, here was the thing some years ago with those advertisements. That wasn't the advertisers getting that money. That was the people making the videos that you like to watch. Now, do you watch television without commercials? Do you? Does people remember when cable came out? What was the great thing about cable? You didn't have commercials. You paid for it. Well, now you can get like DirecTV, 5,000 million channels, all of them with nothing but commercials, and you pay for it. It's all crap. It's all garbage. And look at today. Now it's like, well, is it made for kids? Well, are you a YouTube partner where we have to like demonetize before it's even up? Do we have to do that? Yeah, of course you do. Hell, man, I go back 5 years ago, man. I was making every bit of $400+ a month, even if I didn't make a video on prior views. Shit, man, I can't even make a video today until I get monetized. In fact, I still want to know, how do I get unmonetized? I want out, man. I want to be able to be on here and be like, hey, YouTube, up yours. Because that's how I feel. Yeah, thank you. And that's why I had them do that on my outro, man. And never forget, YouTube shadow bans me. No! I love that, man. Man, you know what? Thank you, D. If you're talking about me, but I already know that. So is Figgy. So is Figador, man. You know what? He loves my humor. You should see him laugh. I'll get video of it. It's hilarious. You are very welcome. But honestly, man, I mean, that is what I try to do. I mean, I try to keep it like to the facts, to the circumstances, to the evidence, what's real, what isn't, what's theory, what's BS. Try to keep it like that, because then it's It's real. At least what I'm talking about is real. You can fact check it. It's real. Now, see, that's where I'm trying to go. That is exactly what I'm trying to go. Man, if I knew how you guys could send me Bitcoin, anybody out there with Bitcoin could just send me 0.0004 of a Bitcoin, and I'd be like, look, Figgy, I got Bitcoin. I'd be so proud. I'd be so happy. Yeah. Tested on Hiroshima. You know what? That was right before we sent them the assembly line process where that they could make transistor radios. You remember that? Anybody that's my age? I mean, like, you know, man, back when I was little, man, transistor radios all came from Japan. So did the foreign cars, which were damn good cars. You know what? I'm not really talking about that, Michael. I really don't, because I have no idea how people can, how people can use that. I really, I don't, man. So I don't even touch upon that. But I do have one. I bought one. Oh, it will. It will. I mean, mark my words on this. Elon Musk, who put $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's what he bought. $1.5 billion with a B dollars worth of Bitcoin. Then he crapped on it. Then he wiped his backside with it. Watched it drop to less than 30% of the value that he bought it on. Did it again. Okay, again, and sunk it further. Now, why would the smart financial genius do that? Why would he drop the value of what he paid $1.5 billion for? Why would he watch his stock in Tesla go down 40%? Why would that genius do that? So that him and his friends could buy it up on the very cheap and own the larger percent of it. That's why. And when they do, boom, you'll see that stuff become the world reserve currency. That stuff will go up to like $1 billion a coin in due time. Will it be at $1 million in 10 years? I think it'll be above $1 million in 10 years. That's me. But you see, I'm doing what they're doing. I'm buying at the bottom. That's what you do. When it's dropped like this, buy it up because it's going up. It ain't going to disappear. It can't go to zero. It's unhackable. It's private. Shit's great, man. You ain't got to worry about exchange rates. If I send it to you and you're in Saudi Arabia, I can send you X amount of Bitcoin. It's exchangeable right there. That's the beauty of Bitcoin. It's got a finite amount, 21 million, 3 of which are gone, 18 million. Some of that lost as well. But this ups the value. It ups the value of what's there. So it's never going to zero. It's the largest save of wealth. It's the best asset, the greatest asset in human history. It's the fastest $1 trillion corporation ever. It's not going away. Buy it and buy it now while it's low. It is in Paraguay and what was the name of the other country? They made it a part of their currency, legal tender, so to speak. And that's what I was saying before, that smaller countries would start doing this and that would kick that off. So in due time, because now banks are taking it, man, these big investors that are like, yeah, I ain't buying into that Bitcoin thing. Now they come out and go, yeah, I own some Bitcoin, because they can cash in. They know that, man. They know it's not going to zero. So do I. And the people that think it's going to zero, they're listening to FUD on the news. That's how. Oh, holy freaking crap, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the center for the Indianapolis Colts, Ryan Kelly, has joined our chat. Thanks for being here, Mr. Kelly. I appreciate seeing you, man. Love your games, man. You are fantastic and probably the best center in the NFL. I appreciate the crap out of it. Yes, very true. In fact, me and Greeno both. Wait, let me complete the whole of that. I just read the first line. Is it true that many people in Delphi didn't know about the trails? or another call-in, heard many from Indiana just recently saying they had never heard of Abby and Libby. I'm not criticizing. Yeah, me and Greeno, and both of us was from around, or had lived in or around Delphi. Neither one of us knew that trail was there. Neither one of us, and both of us knew Delphi backward and forward. But that trail sets back across the Hoosier heartland and begins where that train track was. And it's a small trail. It's a very small trail. It's the property that I lease right here is bigger than the trail. Literally, I think by 20 acres larger than the trail. So a lot of people didn't know about it, and really people outside of Delphi didn't have any idea about it. But now when you go out there, everybody knows about it. And most people go out there because of what happened, to leave something as a memorial, or, to see the area. It's very beautiful. It's very historic. And it really puts I don't know how to put it. I would say like a damper upon it, because it's beautiful. It's scenic. It's everything that a trail should be, and now it's kind of dampened, by a very dark horror that happened. And that makes it sad. Yeah, true. It's true, man. I was looking at the yachts the other day, and the one that was owned by Jeff Bezos. Oh, crap, man. Look, man, you want to see a yacht? Go look up Jeff Bezos' yacht, man. I think he bought that, or he bought it for $3 billion. After it was made, he talked him down to $1.5 billion, got it for $1.5 billion. It's amazing. I mean, it is like a floating mansion, man. It's got like air to ground to air missiles, ground to ground missiles. It's got like an escape hatch with a submarine, so that he could, it's bulletproof. If you're taking pictures, it's got a laser that hits the sensor on the thing where you can't get pictures of it. It is fantastic, man. They show parts of the inside, beautiful. And I thought, look, it's a little bit out of my price range right now, but give me time. Give me a little bit of time. And when I get a yacht like that, we'll all go on a big float. We'll go around the world twice on me, on my Bitcoin. This I assure you. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's 69 people here, and I hope that some of you at least hit the thumbs up on my little clock, but I got to roll, man. Not only do I have to take Puppy out, who's crying. You want me to go get Puppy? I'll go get Puppy. I'm going to go get Puppy. Give me a second. He wants out anyways. Believe me. All right, come on, man. What's up? All right, man. Okay. One time. You ready? Come on. See, I tell him to stay out of the studio, man. I'm all the time, man. Like, hey, stay out of the studio. Yeah, that's how he loves me. Right there. He licks my glasses. Now I can't see all of them. Then I got to go without glasses, which is fine. Hey, look at the camera. Would you look at the camera? Puppy. Hey, look at the camera. Look at the camera. There you go. Hey, he's hosting. All right, everybody, man. I love you guys, moderators, viewers, everybody, all y'all, man. Y'all rock. See, man, now I can't see the... Yeah, messed up the focus. There we go. Anyway, man, I got to get him out, man. I appreciate everybody being here. I will be back next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Be here. Peace, y'all. Later.